The night my marriage died, nobody screamed, nobody cried. It just ended behind a frosted glass door while I stood there holding takeout and a stupidly expensive bottle of wine. I hit the elevator button with my elbow because my hands are full. Thai takeout in one, anniversary wine in the other. 15 years of buildings like this and they all smell the same. Recycled air, cleaning supplies, faint cologne baked into carpet. I'm thinking I'm a good husband. Third late night this week, so I'm bringing dinner to my wife. Simple equation. The doors slide open on the 15th floor. It's too quiet. No printers, no phones, just the low hum of lights and HVAC. Harper and West looks like a corporate brochure up here. Glass, chrome, and that fake plant in the corner I've always thought was real. Her office is down the hall on the left. I walk toward it, counting steps out of habit. 1, 2, 3. My brain likes patterns. 4, 5, 6. Light under her door. Normal. 7, 8, 9. Then I see the glass. Megan's office door has that frosted strip from waist to shoulder height. Enough to give privacy, not enough to hide movement. At first it's just shapes. Then the shapes resolve. 2 silhouettes. Close. Too close for work. I stop walking, just outside the cone of light. My hands go light and heavy at the same time. The wine bottle feels like a brick. The takeout bag cuts into my fingers. She's on the desk. I can't see details, just the outline of her legs, his body between them. Her blouse is open, buttons undone in a staggered line that breaks the clean shape I know by heart. His shoulders move in a rhythm that has nothing to do with spreadsheets or quarterly reviews. My brain doesn't react at first. My body does. Fingers numb. Breathing shallow. Heart rate ticks up like a metronome jumping tempo. But my face stays still. I don't kick the door. I don't shout his name or hers. I don't bang on the glass like in some bad movie. I just stand there and watch long enough to know it's not a misunderstanding. Not a hug. Not a bad angle. That's all I need. Confirmation. I turn around. The hallway feels longer on the way back. My feet know how to walk without input. The bag swings against my leg. The wine clinks once against the glass inside its wrapping. In the elevator, I pressed L with the same hand that was supposed to hand her dinner. The doors close, and I'm alone with my reflection in stainless steel. I look at myself like I'd look at a project status board. Facts, not feelings. My wife is having an affair with her boss. I have no plan. I still have every choice. Something inside me flips. Not a break. More like a switch going from normal operations to incident response. No yelling. Yelling is noise. Noise doesn't move numbers. I watch my own eyes in the metal, and they look oddly calm. Like this is a meeting I've already mentally prepared for. Right there, between floors, I made the call. I'm done being the husband who assumes good intentions. I'm done accepting stories at face value. I'm not going to beg, threaten, or cry. I'm going to observe, track, collect, let the data speak. Let the consequences do their job. The morning after, my kitchen looks exactly the same. Same chipped navy mug. Same coffee maker humming like it does every weekday at 6:15 a.m. The world didn't get the memo that my marriage died 12 hours ago. I pour my coffee, black, and lean against the counter. My body is tired, but my head is sharp in a way it wasn't yesterday. Once you flip into observer mode, you don't go back. Megan walks in like she's stepping onto a set. Hair perfect. Makeup dialed in. New cream blouse I've never seen before. Soft fabric that drapes too nicely to be a random sale find. Perfume a little stronger than usual. Something floral with a bite under it. Morning, she says, going straight for her mug in the cabinet. Morning. I sip. Watch. She doesn't look at me right away. Her eyes skim the window, the fridge, the counter, anywhere but my face. It's subtle. If I didn't work with people who lie about deadlines all day, I might miss it. Late one, I say. You get home around, what, 11:30? She freezes for half a second. It's quick, but it's there. Yeah, big week. Daniel's killing us with these end-of-quarter revisions. She drops his name like he's just the demanding boss again. Throw it out casual like a test balloon. I nod. Harper, will you guys ever go home? She laughs, too loud for the joke. Barely. He lives at that office. I file the reaction away. Tone, speed, the way her hand tightens on the mug. We talked about nothing for a few minutes. Traffic, some email from my brother, the weather. On the surface, it's a normal married couple starting their day. Underneath, I'm watching her like a spreadsheet loading in slow motion. No mention of the anniversary wine still on the counter. Untouched. No, sorry I missed dinner. No curiosity about whether I tried to stop by. She kisses my cheek before she leaves. Perfume hits again, sharp. My skin doesn't register it like it used to. I just note it as data. At lunch I call Hank. He's at the bar, like always, prepping for the night shift. Cole, he answers. You sound like you slept in a chair. Didn't, I say. You got 5 minutes? For you, I got 10. I lay it out in simple lines. Late nights. Emergency calls. Restaurant charges across town on nights she said she was buried at work. The way her phone started living face down. The half-truth in the kitchen this morning. The unopened anniversary wine sitting like a joke on our shelf. I don't mention the frosted glass. Not yet. I want to hear myself say the word first. You think she's cheating? Hank asks, voice low. There it is. I stare at a water ring on my desk and exhale. Yeah, I say. I don't think so. I know. Silence on the line for a beat. Then, okay. So what now? Now I stop guessing. I tell him. I start confirming. The next day, I called her office at 10 a.m. Reception picks up. Linda, the one who remembers everyone's birthday. Hey Linda, it's Ryan, Megan's husband. Just trying to catch her. She slammed today. Oh, hi, Ryan. She chirps. No, she's actually got a light one. Just a short meeting with Daniel at 2. Then she's mostly catching up on email. Light one. Not weak from hell. Not killing us. I thank her, hang up, and feel the first real crack run through the story she sold me at the kitchen table. Patterns don't lie. People do. At 1:50 p.m., I'm back in the lobby of Harper & West. Big Ray is at the security desk. Same bored expression. Same coffee. The only difference is the way his eyes flick up when he sees me. There's recognition there. And pity. I swipe in with the guest badge he hands me without asking. 15th. I say. He hesitates. You sure, man? Yeah, I answered. I'm sure. The hallway is the same. The light under her door is the same. The frosted glass is the same. So is the scene. Her on the desk. Him between her knees. This time I don't freeze. I don't feel my hands. I just absorb it like a screenshot. I turn to go, but stop at the end of the hall. Walk back to the elevator. Hit the button. Ray is watching me when the doors open downstairs. How long has this been going on? I ask him, keeping my voice level. He swallows. Looks around like HR might be hiding behind a ficus. Couple months, he says finally. Maybe more. I nod once. There it is. Not suspicion, not theory. Confirmation from someone with no reason to lie. The affair isn't a moment. It's a pattern. And patterns are my territory. The night the house stopped feeling like home, nothing dramatic happened. No bags by the door. No screaming. Just Megan coming in late again, mumbling about Harper being impossible. Dropping her heels and heading straight for the shower. I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop open and our accounts pulled up. If she was going to lie to my face in this room, I'd let the numbers answer me instead. Joint checking, savings, mortgage, retirement, every credit card, every recurring payment. I went line by line the way I'd dissect a failing project. Hotel charges I'd never heard about, chains near the office, one downtown boutique place twice in the last month. Work trips that didn't match any calendar invites she'd mentioned. Dinners logged on nights she told me she was too exhausted to go out for our anniversary or my birthday. No emotion, just a story unfolding in timestamps and dollar signs. The next morning, she comes into the kitchen with damp hair and that same cream blouse. There's a dark mark high on her collar, too round and deliberate to be an accident. I let my eyes pass over it like it's nothing. Long night. I ask, cracking eggs into a pan. She exhales. You have no idea. I do, actually. When she leaves for work, the switch in my head goes from observation to action. First call, the bank. I reset online access, put temporary holds on our joint cards, flag unusual hotel activity. Second call, a locksmith. Every lock on the house gets scheduled for replacement by the end of day. Third call, Hank. Need a number, I told him. He doesn't ask which kind. He just gives me Danny prices. IT kid who fixes things on the side and doesn't ask many questions. While the locksmith works through the doors, I move through the house. Not tearing anything apart. Just searching like a man who already knows there's something to find. Bedroom first. Her side of the bed. Nightstand. Drawer. Books stacked neatly. The same 3 she's been too busy to finish for months. I slide my hand behind them and feel plastic. Second phone. Different carrier. Cheap case. I try our anniversary date as the code. It unlocks on the first attempt. Messages everywhere. Her calling me, pathetically trusting. Talking about needing to know where all the money is before she walks with her fair share. Jokes about how easy it is to distract me. My chest doesn't even tighten. The hurt burned out back in that elevator. What's left is clear. This isn't just cheating. She's planning an exit. And she's planning to rob me on the way out. The funny thing about revenge is how boring it looks up close. No fireworks. No shouting. Just me at the kitchen table on a Tuesday night. Printer humming. Laptop open. A neat stack of paper growing by my elbow. On the screen, screenshots from the second phone. Megan called me pathetically trusting. Talking about getting her fair share once she knows where every account is. Texts lining up hotel rooms with late nights at the office. Next folder. Security stills Danny pulled for me, quiet and careful. Blurry hallway kisses with Daniel. His hand on her back as they disappear into her office after hours. One set where the blinds aren't fully closed and you can see just enough to kill the misunderstanding excuse dead. I don't print everything. Just enough to build a clean narrative. 3 piles. 3 stories. Envelope 1. HR at Harper & West Holdings. Professional. Dated. Anonymous return address. Inside, a short letter with times, dates, and potential violations of company policy, plus selected screenshots and stills that show misuse of company time and resources. Envelope 2. Patricia Harper. Daniel's wife. Hand-addressed. No note. Just the images and a printout of a few texts that make it very clear her husband's late strategy meetings weren't about strategy. Envelope 3. Jenna Carter. The office gossip Megan always trashed, called desperate for attention. I give her attention in the form of screenshots that show exactly how little respect Megan has for anyone she works with. Plus 1 photo of Megan and Daniel pressed too close in a hallway. 3 envelopes. 3 different ignition points on the same pile of dry wood. I mail them from 3 different post offices. No drama. Drop, walk out, drive away. Pins pulled. The blast radius hits 2 days later. First, a call from Megan. She's whispering from a conference room, voice tight. HR called me in. Someone sent them pictures, messages. They're saying it's inappropriate conduct. I make my voice flat. Are you serious? This is insane, Ryan. This is an invasion of privacy. Maybe, but it's also the truth. Big Ray texts an hour later. You weren't kidding. HR plus legal all over the place. The place is nuts. I take a long lunch and park across the street from Harper & West. In a dingy deli with bad coffee and a clear view of the front doors. Patricia's silver Mercedes pulls up mid-afternoon. She gets out fast. No hesitation. Sunglasses off before she hits the sidewalk. There's a kind of controlled fury in the way she moves, heels hitting pavement like nails being driven. Minutes later, I see her through the glass in the lobby. Megan's there, red-eyed, mid-argument with some HR suit. Patricia walks straight up and slaps her. Open hand. Sharp. Half the floor sees it. I don't smile. I just watch. By 4, Megan comes out holding a cardboard box filled with her office life. Framed photo, desk plant, a few binders. Suspended, Pending investigation. That's how HR phrases it. She gets home, strides up to the front door, and jams her key in the lock. It doesn't turn. She tries again, harder, rattles the handle. I open the door from the inside. Her eyes are wild. What the hell, Ryan? Locks got changed. I say, I need an update. She stares at me, then at the useless key in her hand, then down at the box of her things. For the first time since the frosted glass, she understands something simple and clean. She's not the only one rewriting the rules. When you strip the romance out of betrayal, all you're left with is behavior and leverage. Danny sits across from me at the kitchen table, chewing on a pen cap, laptop open. He's nervous. I'm not. So we're clear. I tell him, no names, no faces, just patterns. He nods. Corporate whistleblower, he says, typing. People eat that up. We built the account in under 20 minutes. Generic handle. Bio about what really happens behind closed office doors. No company tagged. No initials, nothing traceable without already knowing the story. Then we start posting. Not the worst stuff. Not yet. Clean timeline shots. Late-night building entries. Timestamps lining up with working late texts. Blurred security stills of two figures too close in an empty hallway. Captions like, ever wonder what crunch time really means? And some deadlines are more flexible than others. We queue a dozen posts and let the internet chew. By midnight, the account has a few hundred followers. By the next afternoon, it's thousands. Local gossip pages start screen grabbing. Blog headlines hint at mystery corporate scandal. Comment sections playing detective, guessing which company it is. I never once say Megan's name. I don't have to. The truth doesn't care if it's tagged. At home, she pulls tighter every day, like a wire stretching. 3 nights after her suspension, she sits across from me at dinner, untouched food between us. She's been quiet, restless fingers on her water glass. Finally, she starts. Me and Daniel, we crossed some lines, she says, picking her words like she's defusing a bomb. It was emotional. We got close. It wasn't physical, not like they're saying. Frosted glass, hotel receipts, the mark on her collar. Right. I keep my face neutral. Okay. She looks up, surprised I'm not exploding. Okay. I'm more disappointed you lied. I say. The rest, it's done. We can figure it out. I watch relief loosen her shoulders a fraction. She takes that inch and starts sewing a new narrative. Stress, pressure, confusion, taken out of context. Harper was intense. He blurred boundaries. She talks. I listen. I catalog every lie she chooses to keep. 2 days later, the tone shifts. Detective Laura Chun calls while I'm at my desk. Calm voice. Introduces herself from financial crimes. Says she has questions about irregularities in expense reports tied to Harper and West executives. Ask if I'm willing to talk. Megan, meanwhile, is meeting with a lawyer who tells her exactly what I expected. Play the harassment angle. Reframe. Claim power imbalance, pressure, manipulation. It's not a lie, she insists that night, pacing the living room. He did push. He knew I depended on that promotion. If they can find other women, show a pattern, Bradley goes down and I walk away clean. He's Daniel, I correct automatically. Everyone calls him Brad. She snaps, then catches herself. Whatever. I let that slip hang in the air. In that sentence, Bradley goes down and I walk away clean. I hear everything I need to know. She isn't looking for the truth. She's looking for a way out. She'll burn anyone, him, the company, me, if it keeps her from paying the full bill. At some point, you stop collecting and start deciding what to do with what you know. I stare at Detective Chen's number on my phone one evening, thumb hovering. Megan's in the bedroom on another call with her lawyer, practicing her coerced victim script. I hear words like pressure, power imbalance, hostile environment. I hit call. She meets me 2 days later in a small interview room at the station. 4 walls, 1 table, 2 chairs. No drama, just a place where stories get tested. Mr. Cole, she says, sitting down. You said you had additional information. I open my laptop. No speech, no warm-up. First, the second phone. Screenshots of Megan mocking me, talking about her fair share, lining up withdrawals with fake work trips. I show messages that match hotel stays, jewelry purchases, and late-night excuses. Then I lay out the expense reports Danny helped me mirror. Corporate card charges that match those same nights. Same hotels. Same timestamps. Company money paid for their affair while they called it strategy sessions. Next, the security footage. Not the trimmed clips Megan's lawyer tried to spin as harassment. Full sequences where she closes the distance. Her hand on Daniel's chest. She pulled him into her office, laughing. His behavior is dirty. Sure, but hers is voluntary. I slide a printed timeline across the table. Dates, times, locations, account movements. Clean, linear, color-coded. My whole marriage post-frosted glass, reduced to a project plan with no way to hide inside it. Chen's expression shifts from neutral to hard focus. Megan's statement painted a different picture, she says. I figured, I answered. She asks if I'm willing to sign an official statement. I say yes. Before we wrap, she pauses. Most spouses protect, she says. Why are you doing this? I look past her at a blank patch of wall. Because if I lie for her, I say, I become part of the scam. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for the truth. She chose what she did. I'm choosing what to say about it. My word has to mean something, or I'm just making more noise. Consequences don't send a calendar invite. They just show up. It's 8:10 a.m. on a Thursday when a quiet police cruiser noses into our driveway. No siren, just blue paint and intent. I'm at the kitchen sink rinsing my mug. Megan's in a blazer, hair done, makeup sharp, dressed like she still has an office to go to. She's scrolling her phone, trying to pretend the suspension is a misunderstanding that'll clear up any day. Ryan, she says, staring past me out the window. Why is there a cop car here? I dry my hands on a dish towel and watch Detective Chun step out with two uniformed officers. Neighbors' curtains twitch on both sides of the street. Nobody looks, but everyone looks. A knock. Firm, professional. I open the door. Mr. Cole, Chun nods. We're here for Megan Cole. Megan appears behind me, voice already raised. This is insane. What is this? Chun reads it off clean. Conspiracy to commit fraud, misuse of corporate funds, providing false statements during an active investigation. She turns Megan around, cuffs her, does it all by the book. Megan looks over her shoulder at me like I've stabbed her. Shock, then betrayal, then something like hatred. You did this, she whispers. No, I say quietly. You did. They walk her out past the curious houses and the trash cans waiting for pickup. She's still talking, about lawyers and mistakes and misunderstandings, but the only words that matter come from Chun. You have the right to remain silent. The story flips fast after that. Her lawyer calls once, warns me my statement carries significant weight, and hints at reconsidering. I don't. News sites that flirted with the harassment angle pivot hard. Headlines about false victim claims and fraud scheme inside local firm. Screenshots from the whistleblower account start showing up blurred in the background B-roll. I watch one segment on the TV at Hank's bar with the sound off. Megan's face in a little corner box. Legal analysts mouthing opinions I don't need to hear. You want to change the channel? Hank asks. I shake my head. Don't need to. I was there for the live version. Nights turn into paperwork. I sat with the DA's team at my kitchen table, the same place she lied a dozen different ways. We go through everything. Bank statements, hotel bills, clone drives Danny handed over with every step documented. No gaps. No loose edges for a defense attorney to grab. Patricia and I don't team up, but we move in parallel. She brings her own stack, emails, trip records, transfers. Different marriage, same pattern. I build timelines the way I always have, clean, layered, color-coded. Only this time, they're not about product launches or rollout phases. They're about nights she said she was buried at work and where the money actually went. By the time the DA is done, my life isn't a disaster anymore. It's evidence. The bridge to trial is built out of facts, not feelings. Courtrooms are quieter than TV makes them. No dramatic echoes, just low voices, shuffling paper, people pretending they're not judging each other. When they call my name, I walk up, take the oath, and sit. 12 strangers look at me like a puzzle they're supposed to solve. The prosecutor takes me through it in a straight line for the first time. Mr. Cole, how often did your wife say she was working late? I answer, dates, times. What did you see the night you went to her office? I talk about the frosted glass, the silhouettes, the elevator ride down. No adjectives, just facts. We move through the second phone, the money trail, the hotel receipts, the expense reports. Saying it all out loud makes it sound even uglier than it felt in my head. Then her attorney stands. He tries to paint me as a bitter husband, out for blood. Talks about humiliation, wounded pride, vindictive cooperation with law enforcement. Mr. Cole, he says, would you describe your actions as revenge? I look at the jury, not him. Revenge is about how I feel, I say. This is about what she did. My wife lied to me, her company, and this court. I'm not here to feel better. I'm here to tell the truth. You can feel the air change when a sentence lands. That one does. Then it's everyone else's turn. Linda, the receptionist, confirms Megan's schedule was never the brutal grind she claimed. Big Ray takes the stand and talks about repeated after-hours visits. Megan and Daniel heading to the 15th floor when the building was mostly dark. Jenna reads out messages where Megan brags about having her boss rapped and calls half her co-workers idiots. Daniel comes in wearing prison khakis, shackles clinking. He admits the affair was consensual, that he greenlit perks and expenses to keep it going, that they discussed spinning Megan as a victim if things went bad. That last part hits hard. Detective Chin follows with the full blueprint, emails, expense reports, phone logs, footage. My timeline's blown up on screens, color-coded lines turning chaos into a locked cage. The jury doesn't stay out long. Guilty of fraud. Guilty of misuse of funds. Guilty of perjury. Guilty of obstruction. When they read it, Megan doesn't cry. She just looks over at me, eyes tired, anger burned down to ash. For the first time, there's a flicker of something like respect there, and the clear understanding that I was never as blind as she counted on. Sentencing day is short and ugly. The judge reads off 3 years, eligible for parole after 18 months. Words like breach of trust, premeditated, pattern of behavior. People ask me later if it feels like enough, like there's some magic number that evens the score. There isn't. Time doesn't fix what she broke. It just puts a frame around it. The house goes first. Realtor signs in the yard. Tours on weekends. Strangers walking through my kitchen, my bedroom, commenting on natural light and great bones, like they're not standing on the fault lines of my life. I pack in silence. The kitchen where she lied with a straight face. The bedroom where the second phone hid behind book spines. The hallway where we brushed past each other for months, pretending nothing was wrong. I keep what matters, sell what doesn't, and walk away from the rest. The apartment I move into downtown is smaller but honest. 1 bedroom, decent view of a parking lot and some skyline. Couch, table, bed. No hidden devices. No mysterious charges. Every item has a purpose. On Fridays, I still end up at Hank's. Same stool, same wings, same worn bar top under my forearms. The difference is the conversation. Less what she did, more what now. Some nights we talk about dumb sports bets. Some nights about maybe going back to school, maybe consulting instead of grinding it out as an employee. Life, not fallout. The first letter from her shows up 3 weeks after sentencing. Plain envelope, familiar handwriting. For pages of apologies, selective memories, and soft-focused nostalgia. She writes about being scared, about bad influences, about pressure. There's a line near the end about maybe someday trying again when she's out. I read it once at my kitchen table. Then I slide it into a file folder with my copies of the court documents and close the drawer. Not the nightstand. Not a keepsake box. Just paperwork from something that's over. The only picture I keep of us is a single wedding photo in a simple frame on my desk. Two younger idiots smiling at a future they don't understand yet. Every time I glance at it, the image of that frosted glass overlays it in my mind. Not to torture myself, just as fine print I should have read sooner. People want a clean moral. They ask if I regret pushing it all the way. If it would have been better to say we grew apart and leave it there. Here's the truth. I could have lived with the comfortable lie. A lot of men do. Swallow it, numb out, blame life and stress, and pretend it was nobody's fault. But then my word wouldn't mean a damn thing. Not to a jury, not to my friends, not to me. Trust is the real contract. She cashed it out. There was a price for that. So I chose the smaller, quieter life where I can look in the mirror and know I didn't bend the truth just because it hurt. I chose to stand up for what actually happened, not the version that would have been easier to sleep next to. End of the day, it came down to one question. Live with the lie, or live with myself. I made my choice. Now I get up, make my coffee, and build whatever comes next on a floor that doesn't move under my feet.